That's nice. You joined again. You are not afraid of our debates. You have some fun, I hope. So thank you very much to have come for coming, yeah. And so last time, what did you speak about? Hmm. It was long, long time ago.
Maybe cause and effect,
Yes, cause and effect, yeah.
and also
Yeah.
specifically and generalized characterized phenomena.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Yeah, we could say that they are equivalent, yeah. Um, Specifically characterized phenomena and impermanent phenomena are equivalent, and generally characterized phenomena and permanent phenomena are equivalent, yeah. Good, very good. Okay, and yeah, it's important as well to play with the negations, because there is one specific chapter in the Yunzindura where we have many negations, yeah. The opposite of being that, the opposite of not being that, the opposite of not being one with that, and so on and so on. So it's nice to be a little bit familiarized with the negations as well. Of course, we will keep on with substance, one substance, and so on, because it is in the end of the chapter on causes and effects, yeah? In the beginner's level of the Yonzindura. Yeah? So I have some slides. If you wish, we can see just a few slides, then we will debate. Yeah. Okay. So I'll try to find the share screen. Yeah, here. Okay,
Good
good.
morning. Can
Good
I ask,
morning. Yeah,
what is Yonzing Dura in English?
the we could say the collected topics from Yongzin Purbuchok. Yeah, that's the root text which is translated in debate in Tibetan Buddhism. Yeah, from Daniel Perdue.
Did you share, is that one of the PDFs that you had shared earlier?
There is one, yeah, one translation of the root text, yeah, just the mere root text without any commentary and so on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
it's written beginners collected topics or something like this. Yeah.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
So I'm not properly following the order of the chapters because some are less relevant, but the main chapters we try to follow the order. So now we are in cause and effects, and which chapter is that? My book is somewhere here. Which chapter is that? Cause and effect. Maybe the fifth one, something like this. I'm not sure. Okay. And so, so in the end of the chapter, we find something very interesting. It corresponds to the chart that I sent one time. Yeah, one and different, one substance, different substances, one entity, different entities, and so on. Yeah. So we will have a look on that after. Yeah. Okay. So on this slide, you can see that the flower, the lotus flower, and existent are one entity. Do you agree with that? Who has any doubt? I will change the name on my cam. Yeah, it follows that the subject, the two, the flower, the lotus flower, and existent are one entity. What am I doing here? Good. Yeah.
Yes, accept.
Oh, very good. They are one entity because?
Because when we point to the object, to both, it we point to the same object. When
Yeah.
we point to the lotus and existent, then we point to the same object.
Exactly, Chavila, yes. The both phenomena, two phenomena which are one entity, if you point towards one, you have to point towards the other. Yeah, that's a very good explanation. Yeah. So technically we would say that the definition would be if they were to appear to a direct perception, they would not appear separately. Yeah, because existent cannot appear to a direct perception. Yeah, do you agree with that? Yeah, the subject existent cannot appear to direct perception because?
Um, because it is a conceptual thing.
Yeah, yeah, it is permanent.
Permanent.
Yeah, exactly, Shantila and Shavila. Yeah, it is the appearing object to thought consciousness. Yeah, if it is the appearing object to thought consciousness, it's necessarily not impermanent. Yeah, very good. You accept that. Oh, wow, wonderful. So yes, the subject existent is permanent. Yeah, it is, we could say, mm, it belongs to the conceptual realm, we could say in one sense. Yes. And the flower is necessarily impermanent. So if one of them is permanent, they cannot appear to a direct perception, yeah? They both can't appear to direct perception, yeah. So that's why we have to use if they were to appear. Of course, they can appear to one direct perception, no? Maybe omniscient mind, but the soul Trantika would still say that existent cannot appear to to an omniscient mind because it's permanent. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, okay. So anyway. Well, there are some issues with that. Yeah. Okay, so we will leave it aside for now. Okay, so existent is permanent, the flower is impermanent. So we cannot say that they are one substance, they are one entity. Yeah, because one is permanent. If both are permanent, it's always it's the same case. They would be one entity. For instance, could you find an illustration of two phenomena which are permanent but still one entity? Mm-hmm.
Emptiness and phenomena.
Yes, Shantila, yeah, very good. The subject, emptiness and phenomena. Yeah, we could say selflessness for the Sotrantika, but it's the same. Yeah, emptiness, okay, and phenomena are one entity because.
Uh, Is it because the emptiness of phenomena is attached to the phenomena?
Yes, it's attached to, yeah, exactly. Like in a mail, when we send a mail with a PDF, we attach it. Exactly. Yeah, that's the same process in one sense. Yeah. So exactly when you have your cup, the emptiness or the selflessness of that cup is not outside of the house and the cup inside the house. Yeah? You have the emptiness of the cup where the cup is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they are one entity, exactly. Yeah, that's wonderful. If they were to appear to direct perception, they would not appear separately. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Very good, and they are both permanent. Yeah. Okay, selflessness and existent. Okay, well, phenomena. Oh, very good. And now, if we compare the flower and functioning thing, or impermanent, or cause, effect, swalakshana, and so on, then we would have one substance. Yeah, zechik in Tibetan. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very good. Eka dravya in Sanskrit. Yeah. One substance. one substance because both are impermanent, and substance, usually speaking, correlates with the impermanent world. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So the subject, the two, the flower and functioning thing are one substance because Acharya Dharmakirti says so.
So, are we talking about functioning thing as the label functioning thing, or something that is a functioning thing?
Yeah, we are speaking about the generality functioning thing. Yeah, the category functioning thing. So it's a generality. We have to study that as well because it has lots of instances like flower, human being, and so on. Yeah. So functioning thing is the generality functioning thing, but it is still impermanent, yeah, because it has to be able to perform function. Yeah. So it's like before, previously when we spoke about the generality impermanence, yeah, we wondered, okay, where is impermanence? Because it is a generality. It has lots of instances or manifestations, we could say. But where is it? Where is it? So we said it is exactly where any impermanent functioning thing is. Yeah, where a pot is, where a chair is, and so on and so on. Yeah. But yes, it is the generality. Yeah.
But if it is a generality, isn't that a permanent thing?
That's a very good question, Chavela. Very deep. Yeah, we could say like maybe for the for other interpreters of the soul trantica, like in the Sakya tradition, yeah, in the like for Diego Rampa and so on, they would say that if it is generality, it's necessarily a generally characterized phenomenon. So if it is a generality, it has to be permanent. Yeah. So maybe the Sakyapa would say so. Yeah, we have to double check in maybe recognizing reality. Yeah, from Geshe Dreyfus. But the Gelugpa would say if it is uh, able to perform function, it's necessarily not permanent. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
And the subject functioning thing is able to perform function.
Except.
It is able to perform function because
It is a product.
yeah, because it is a product. Exactly. If it is produced, it's necessarily able to perform function. And we could say also because able to perform function is the definition of functioning thing, yeah? So they are equivalent. Yeah. If it is a functioning thing, it's necessarily able to perform function. If it is able to perform function, it's necessarily a functioning thing, yeah? Yeah. So the subject functioning thing is able to perform function. So it is impermanent, but still it is a generality. Yeah. So how many points between generality and generally characterized phenomena? We will see that after later. Yeah. Okay.
Function is the generality. Functioning thing is the object that functions. So
Ah,
that's why functioning thing is impermanent. But function, you can the samsara is function. Everything
yeah.
is functioning in samsara, right? All objects in samsara is a product and it is functioning, but samsara is permanent. Everything in it is impermanent. Is that?
We could say that samsara has to be impermanent, yeah. Because who would give a because who would give an answer? Yeah, the subject samsara is impermanent because
Because
Because it's
nirvana is possible only if samsara is impermanent.
Ah, that's interesting. Okay.
Because
Yes.
it has causes and conditions.
Yeah, we could say so as well. Yeah. And other answers? Yeah, many good answers.
It
it's
is
ever changing.
dependently originated.
It is dependently originated, and Daniel?
Ever changing.
It,
Changing every moment.
it is momentary. It is changing moment by moment. Very good. Okay, so we have many good answers. Yeah, all are good. Wow. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so the subject samsara is impermanent, yeah, because it is the, yeah. When we speak about samsara, what do we speak? We speak about the place, or we speak about, what do we speak about? Is it a place?
Mental state.
Ah, it's a mental state. Yeah.
It's
We could say,
existence.
yeah. Ah, it's existence. So it follows that the Buddha is in the samsara because he exists. Ah.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So when the Buddha proclaimed the true cessations of samsara, yeah, it was a kind of fake advertisement because he himself didn't experience that.
Well, I mean, doesn't Buddha see nirvana in samsara? Isn't
Yeah, in one sense, we could say, like when we said before, one entity, yeah, just before, yeah, the slide before. When we said one entity like selflessness and form, for instance, yeah, they are one entity, yeah, we could say that nirvana in one sense is one entity with samsara, but we have to interpret that. So when we say in one entity, we cannot distinguish them, yeah. Okay, if they appear, we cannot distinguish them. Like in the Heart Sutra, when this is Ultompa, Ultompa Nizuso, and so on, yeah, the form is emptiness, emptiness is form, and so on, yeah. It
Yeah.
means that they are one entity, yeah. Okay, and when we speak about nirvana, it depends, yeah, because when we speak about nirvana, if we speak about true cessations, um, yeah, we can have, you can have in the same continuum someone who is in samsara, because when we speak about samsara, mainly we speak about the aggregates, yeah, the contaminated aggregates, yeah, yeah. That's why it's not really a place. Yeah. So okay, so and our aggregates are not necessarily produced, yeah, and still because they are produced, they are dependent originations. They are selfless. Yeah, so the selflessness, in some cases, we say that the natural nirvana means emptiness, yeah? The natural nirvana, yeah? So in what it's kind of metaphoric nirvana. It's a kind of terminological division of nirvana. It's kind of, it's not really a nirvana. It's not a true cessation, yeah? Yeah. But still, it's an emptiness, yeah? The emptiness of samsara necessarily occurs when samsara occurs, yeah? So they
Yeah.
are attached, yeah, like in one sense. They are one entity. Yeah, samsara is empty like anything else. So samsara and the emptiness of samsara are necessarily one entity. Yeah? Wow, very deep. Okay, so yeah, maybe it's if you check in there is one translation of the Yukti Shashtika, yeah, from Arya Nagarjuna, and commented by Acharya Chandrakirti in the Yukti Shashtika Vritti, Nagarjuna's reason 60, yeah, in English, yeah, you can find that, yeah. In one sense, when we speak about nirvana as the natural nirvana, yeah, they can be said one entity, yeah. Okay, because okay, yeah, that's one point. Is that clear up to now, or am I confusing more your minds? Or is it okay? Okay, very good. So yeah, functioning thing is a generality. It is still a specifically characterized phenomenon. phenomenon, yeah. So it is impermanent, and the lotus flower is impermanent, yeah. So the subject, the lotus flower and functioning thing are one substance because
Lotus flower is part of functioning thing.
yes, exactly. We could say like this. We could say because the lotus flower is an instance of functioning thing. Yeah, very good. And we will see later in a later chapter, generalities and instances, that to prove that the lotus flower is an instance of generality, the generality functioning thing, it has to be a functioning thing. Yeah, that's the first reason. Yeah, the first of the three reasons. Yeah? It has to be a functioning thing. Very good. And it has to be related as the same essence with functioning thing, and many common bases are established between non lotus flower and functioning thing. Okay. So, but first, the first reason, it has to be a functioning thing. So that's a very good answer. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So you
I
understand?
have a
Yeah.
question. I'm sorry.
Yes,
So
please.
did you say that generality could be specifically to characterize phenomena? So I'm a little bit, I don't know, when you just said last paragraph in the beginning. So I'm sorry, I missed the class and generality and I guess specificity. So
Um,
generality and specifically characterized phenomena can occur at the same time. Then I'm just wondering, well, what's the definition of generality and specificality?
yes. Okay, so yeah, the generality, so the definition of generality would be rang serwala jesudroe che in Tibetan. So a phenomenon which encompasses its manifestations. Yeah. A phenomenon like functioning thing here, you have it's like a big box. And in that box you have many functioning things. Yeah. So this box encompasses its manifestations, which are lotus flower, sunshine being, chair, and so on. Yeah. Yeah. And the specifically characterized phenomenon is um, a phenomenon which is not merely imputed by a term or thought consciousness, and which is established, which is exists by its own characteristics. Yeah, which is established by its own characteristics. Yeah. So if we compare between generality and functioning thing or specifically characterized phenomenon, we would find 4P. But we will see that after. Yeah. Okay, so functioning thing here is an impermanent generality. Yeah. And a lotus flower is necessarily a functioning thing. Yeah. One instance of that category. Yeah. Do you agree with that? Yeah. Okay. So, but here both are impermanent. Just before we had existent. Yeah. Existent is permanent. The lotus flower is always impermanent. But now we have functioning thing. So the lotus flower and functioning thing, they are one entity. But moreover, they are one substance. Yeah. Because when they appear to the same direct perception, they don't appear separately. When a lotus flower appears, a functioning thing appears. Necessarily, yeah? Yeah, do you agree with that? Okay. I'm waiting for disagreement, then we can debate. Okay. Okay. So there are one function, well, there are one substance, yeah? Could you give me other illustrations of phenomena which are one substance?
A cup
Yes. And?
and its function, right? No?
Yes. Yeah.
An example. So the cup and the function and the ability to hold coffee.
Yes, exactly. Wonderful, Paravila. Exactly. Yeah. What else?
The cup and its color.
The cup and its
Its color.
Its color, yeah. Yes, Zingula. Yeah, the cup and its color, exactly. Yeah. So we said before that if you change the color of an object, still it has a color, yeah. Okay, we've seen that, yeah. Okay, very good. So many good illustrations. So now we have something different, more
I
precise.
still have a question.
Yes,
Sorry.
please.
Like generality and generally characterized phenomena are not, it's not the same, right? They are not
Exactly.
equivalent. They are okay. They are 40 probably. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Probably. We will double check that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay.
Christophe,
Yes, please.
what about sense power and sense consciousness? Are they one or different?
So yes, they are different, yeah. Necessarily different, yeah.
Hmm.
Different because c'était un moment-là. The eye sense power and the eye consciousness, they are different because
Maybe because one is consciousness and I'm not sure about eye sense power. Is it form?
yes,
Okay.
yes, it is
Maybe then
form.
that's the reason. Form and
So
consciousness are different.
they
Yeah.
are different, yeah. And they are even more than that, they are contradictory, yeah. Yeah, very good. Wow, fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So yes, first when we compare, you know, one entity and one substance and so on, we necessarily need at least two phenomena compared. Yeah? Yeah, we cannot say that the cup is one substance. It is a substance, but it is not the same substance or one substance with something else because it is alone. Yeah, it is just one. Yeah, the cup is just one. Yeah. So it cannot be one substance and it cannot be one entity because it's just one. But the cup and its color are one substance. The cup and selfless are one entity and so on. Yeah, because you compare two phenomena, at least two phenomena. Yeah. Yeah. Do you agree with that? Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Wow.
Sorry, I'm not understanding the difference. Actually, I don't understand why we talk about one entity and one substance. What is the
Yeah.
difference?
Yeah. When we use only one phenomenon, like this cup, it is just one, yeah. So if it is not compared with anything else, we cannot say that it is one substance or one entity because there is nothing else. Yeah,
Mm. It
it's
needs
just
a comparison. Okay.
yeah, exactly. It's just a substance in one sense because it is impermanent. Yeah, but when we say same substance, because that's specific. Yeah, zeçik in Tibetan. Yeah, or Ekadravya, yeah, one substance or yeah, one substance, literally one substance in both languages. Yeah. So you need at least two phenomena which are compared. Yeah?
Okay.
So we could say that if it is one entity, it's necessarily not one. Would you agree with that? If it is one entity, it's necessarily not one. Yeah, it has to be different. We need to compare two different phenomena. And if if it is one, it's necessarily not one entity. Yeah, because one entity implies that we speak about at least two phenomena. Yeah. Okay. If it is clear now, that should be okay for the following.
Sorry, I still also have a, just to make this clear, like one substance is one entity and impermanent.
Yes, exactly.
So if
And
it's
you
one
need two
substance, it's necessarily one entity. But if it's one entity, it's not necessarily one substance.
Yeah, exactly,
And
Zingrula.
if
Yeah,
it's one substance and impermanent, it's necessarily, no, if it's one entity and impermanent, it's necessarily one substance.
Yeah, very good. 3P between one substance and one entity. Yeah, if phenomena are one substance, they are necessarily one entity. Yeah, and they are necessarily all impermanent. But if they are one entity, they are not necessarily one substance because they can be all permanent or at least one. If at least one is permanent, then they cannot be one substance anyway. Yeah, they would be one entity if they were to appear, and they would not be they would not appear separately. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There is one qualm that we have sometimes. Sometimes we say, like for instance, we say that the cup and its color are one substance or one entity. We can say that's okay. It works as well. Yeah. Okay. But they are not one. Yeah. They are necessarily different. They are even contradictory. Yeah. Okay. The color of the cup and the cup are contradictory because?
The cup cannot be shown as a hue.
Yes, exactly. And we can say, look, that cup is like a silver color or metal color. Look, it has that color.
Yes, it has it. It is not.
Ah, yeah. Exactly, Chavila. I cannot not trick you anymore. My fun has gone forever now. Okay. Very good. Yeah. So the cup and its color are one substance. They are one entity, and they are both impermanent. Yeah. Okay. They are one substance, and they are contradictory. Yeah? Okay. Fantastic. But now we have something a bit different. Is one substance in terms of establishment and abiding. It's a bit barbarian language, but if we know what we speak about, we can say just one simultaneous substance. Yeah, one simultaneous substance, like the impermanence of the flower and the flower. It's not just impermanence of functioning thing, it's the impermanence of the flower and the flower. They are produced together, they are enduring together, and they are ceasing together. Do you agree with that? Yeah. So not only the impermanence of the flower and the flower are one substance, but more, moreover, they are one simultaneous substance. Because the impermanence of the flower and the flower, you cannot have one before the other. Do you agree with that? Okay. And wherever you have a flower, necessarily its impermanence is there, necessarily. Yeah? Okay. And when the flower is ceasing, its impermanence as well, yeah? Halavila?
So isn't impermanence already existing without an object? And when an object is produced, it it takes its own, I would think it grasps its impermanence, but impermanence is already there. You've just
Yeah.
grasped it.
Exactly. Yeah. Impermanence, the generality impermanence exists before the lotus flower, that lotus flower, yeah, necessarily. That's why they are just one substance. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why impermanence is a generality necessarily permanent, but when specific generality is impermanent because now the lotus flower has a specific generality.
The impermanence is always impermanent, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah,
permanent.
even as a generality, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But specific, is the impermanence of the flower a specific generality?
Yes, exactly. It's one segment of impermanence or one instance of impermanence, yeah? We could say.
Therefore, it is impermanent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the impermanence of the flower is produced at the same time as the flower. Yeah. Not impermanence, yeah, because impermanence or functioning thing existed before that flower, yeah? But the impermanence of that flower was simultaneously produced and is enduring and is ceasing at the same time as the flower. So when we speak about simultaneous, or in Tibetan, it's same in terms of establishment and abiding. Drupde dzechik in Tibetan, drupde dzechik, yeah. So drupde means established and abides. So it means it has to be produced. Yeah, it has to be produced. So we have to keep that in mind when we speak about simultaneous. Yeah, because in one sense, the selflessness of space, we could say, the selflessness of that cup and that cup are simultaneous. Yeah, in a we could say in a usual language. Yeah. But they are not the same in terms of establishment and abiding, because the selflessness of that cup is not established and abiding in a sense, is not produced. Yeah. So we can say that in general, yeah, when we speak in English, we can say the selflessness of the cup and the cup are simultaneous, but it would be a bit misleading, yeah. So maybe we can keep that in terms of establishment and abiding in order to be sure that we understand what we speak about, yeah? Yeah. So something important here is that two things can be the same in terms of establishment and abiding, but not necessarily one substance. So you have two things which are produced together, they endure together, and they cease together, but they are not necessarily one substance. So how many, if we compare between simultaneous or same in terms of establishment and abiding and one substance, we would have 4p. Oh, oh, okay. So we will try to check that maybe. Okay, so those are the French things. Okay, so I had some other slides, yeah, but it's in French, but it's okay. Okay, very good. No, in French it will not be okay for. So for next time I will have it. I will try to double check that next time. Yeah. So just to recap a little bit, it follows that the subject, the two, the cup and selfless are one substance. Would you agree or not? No. C'est un moment-là. No. Yeah, the subject, the two, the cup and selfless are not one substance because?
Selflessness has no substance. It is
Yeah.
not produced.
Yes, exactly. Selflessness is not a substance, or is not produced, or is not impermanent. Yeah? So the subject, the two, the cup and selfless are one entity.
Except
They are one entity because?
they do not appear differently to a direct perception.
Yes, I could say they do not appear separately to the direct perception to which they were to appear. Yeah. We, because one is permanent, yeah. So it will never appear to direct perception anyway. Yeah. Okay. So that's why the definition is a bit weird, yeah. But yes, the point is there exactly. It's Tamamola.
Yeah, to a yogic, so we should say to a yogic direct perception.
Oh yes, too. Yogic direct perception, for instance. Yeah, exactly. Because only a yogic direct perception is able to perceive selflessness.
Except
Okay. It is able to perceive explicitly selflessness or implicit.
implicitly.
Yes, wonderful. C'est un moment-là, yeah. Shuktok, yeah, it's a kind of implicit realization, yeah. Shuktok in Tibetan, yeah. And compared with explicit realization, yeah. Ngotok. Wow, wonderful. So, okay. Yes. Okay. Still, selflessness would not appear to that yogic perception. Yeah? That's why it would be realized by that yogic perception, but without appearing to that. Yeah. So that's why we say it's implicit, an implicit realization. Yeah? Okay, fantastic. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. So it follows that if there are one substance, there are necessarily one entity. Yes, Chavila, Singrulano. Daniel, no.
I would say no, but I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, yeah. Because if we compare one substance and one entity, what would you say? Yeah, it follows that you know the difference between one entity and one substance. All of you, of course.
Except
Okay, Zingrula.
if it's one substance, it's necessarily one entity, but if it's one entity, it's not necessarily one substance.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody agrees? Yeah. Okay. Very good. So, okay. Okay, fantastic. So now we have same in terms of establishment and abiding, yeah. So, okay, it follows that the subject, the two, the shape of the cup and the cup are same in terms of establishment and abiding. They are produced together, they endure together, and they cease together. The shape of the cup and the cup. Yeah, many people accept. Who would disagree? Nobody disagrees. Okay.
Not accept.
Ah,
Why?
okay. The shape of the cup and the cup, it follows that they are not the same in terms of establishment and abiding.
Accept.
Okay, they are not because.
Mm, maybe a cup which is bent from the sideways. The shape is no more, but the cup is still there.
Mm. Okay, very good. So, like, if we try to crush this cup, which is very difficult, that's why I bought that in India. Very resistant. Yeah, we try to crush it, yeah, for instance, yeah. So the shape is very different, yeah, from previously, yeah.
Yeah,
Still the cup is there, yeah. So Mola is right, yeah, no? But still, when the cup is there, it has a shape, no?
yeah, but that of a bent cup and cup
Mm,
and the bent cup are not same.
exactly. Wow. So before we had the shape of a non-bent cup, and after we have the shape of a bent cup. So two different cups, two different shapes.
Okay.
It's even more precious because it's more fun, it's more, it's kind of unusual cup. So we could say so, no? Like for instance, it's a kind of similar story with the color, yeah? We could say when you have a brand new cup where it's just uh produced in the fabric and so on. Then it has a beautiful color, brand new color and so on. Then slowly with time, or maybe you could change the color, you repaint it. So it has a new color, yeah? Still that new color of that green cup. Before you had a red cup, and now you have a green cup. So they are still one in terms of establishment and abiding, no? They are still simultaneous, yeah? the green color of the green cup and the red color of the red cup, even if they are in one continuum. Yeah. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so if we compare the simultaneous or same in terms of establishment and abiding and one substance, contradictory, equivalent, 3p, 4p, maybe 5p or 1 million p. How many for Shantila?
4p.
4p, wow. 4p, 10.
The locus point is something that is one substance with the like example shape of cup and cup.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the one common base would be the subject the two, the cup, and the shape of the cup. Yeah, they are same in terms of establishment and abiding because
They're produced and established together at the same
yes,
time.
exactly. So if they are produced and are established together at the same time, they are necessarily the same in terms of establishment and abiding.
I accept.
Yes, and they are one substance because I look at my cup, but there is no need. They are one
They are
substance.
one substance because they do not appear as separate to the direct perception.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. If they appear to the same direct perception and they don't appear separately, they are necessarily one substance. Yes.
Accept.
So on one side they are simultaneous, and on the other side they are one substance, so they are one simultaneous substance. Wonderful. Okay. So 4p for Shantila, and who else? So we eliminated contradictory anyway. So maybe it could be equivalent. Aha, okay. So Shantila, it follows that you can posit an illustration of phenomena which are one substance but not the same in terms of establishment and abiding.
Accept.
Yes, posit.
One substance. Impermanence and cup.
Yes, wow, fantastic. Yeah, impermanence and cup, the subject, the two impermanence and cup are one substance because
Because if they were to appear to, they can appear to a direct perception as non-separate.
yes, exactly. Yes, they cannot appear separately to the same direct perceptions to which they appear. Perfect. And now we need an illustration of phenomena which are okay, same in terms of establishment and abiding, but not one substance.
One a cup and the water that exists within the cup.
Ah, okay.
Something that the comes is produced at the same time as the cup and is destroyed at the same time as the cup.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The
Or
water
you can
and
say one instance of the cup and one instance of the clock, which are both there together at the same time.
okay. Ah. Okay, for instance, you say Shantila, a cloth and a cup, yeah?
A clock, one instance of the clock, and at the same time, the instance of one instance of the cup.
Ah, yeah, exactly. Of the clock, when you say the clock, it's like the clock or the cloak, the clock, yeah, the
I
time, yeah,
meant the clock, but
yeah, yeah, the clock.
I meant the clock, a clock.
Okay.
A clock, like, or a watch or something.
Ah, yeah,
Or you
yes.
can say
Okay.
cloth.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have good. I should put my, the hearings here. Okay. The headphones. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they are produced together and they remain together and they cease together. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Is
Sorry, well, a clock, but I don't agree with that example because a clock can be destroyed at a different time
yeah.
than the cup, or the cup can break and the clock is still ticking.
Unless we break them at the same time. Shantila would do so, no?
So I have an example of two, is actually from the previous class, is like the cup and its color.
Yeah. Yeah. But
They
are one
Yeah.
substance, yeah? But we need something which is phenomena which are simultaneous but not one substance. So yes, a watch and a cup are definitely different substances, yeah. But I would say they are also different in terms of establishment and abiding. One can be produced before the other, and yes, one can endure longer than the other. Yeah?
Produced in this definition is not like put together in a same location. Like it's literally like clock is produced in some other building, or like a company, and the cup is produced in some other cup company. Like I don't understand this production part when
Yeah.
she, for example, of the clock and the cup produced together. They could be put together in the same location. I'm
Uh-huh.
confused.
Or maybe I guess in the world there are so many clocks built every day and so many cups built every day and so on. So maybe at some point, why not? Maybe in Germany and in Japan, the two fabrics could produce one a watch and one a cup exactly at the same time. That would be possible, yeah. But when they say the group de chic in Tibetan, yeah, same in terms of establishment and abiding, yeah, they have to be produced at the same time, they have to remain at the same time, and they have to cease at the same time. Even if it's not really explicitly said, the meaning is there, yeah. But yes, the watch can be broken before the cup, or the cup be broken before the watch. Yeah.
So are we looking for two substances that are simultaneously produced and abiding?
Yeah, they are simultaneously produced and they are abiding and they are ceasing together, yeah, but they are different substances.
Maybe a fuel and fire, like gas and the fire it produces. When we turn off the gas, then fire also turns off.
Yes. Okay. Uh-huh.
What
So,
about shape of the cup and color of the cup?
that's another point. Okay. So many crunchy things. Okay, so when the gas is turned off, the fire is turned off, okay? Okay, so there are different substances because one is turned off a very, very short time just before the fire is turned off, because one is the cause of the other, yeah, in one sense. And okay, so but if one is the cause of the other, then necessarily cannot be same in terms of establishment and abiding. They cannot be simultaneous, yeah. Yeah. And Shantila, what was it? Your answer, it was about oh yes, the shape and the color of the cup, yeah. Um, do they appear separately? The shape of the cup and the color of the cup?
Yes.
Ah, they appear separately. So our eye consciousness is able to distinguish the color and the shape of the cup, yeah? Ah, that's interesting, yeah? Ah, because could we see a shape without any color? Good question. Yeah, another question would be, could we see any color without any shape? In one sense, yeah, for poetic people who lie on the ground in the sunshine, and you look at the sky. You pretend to practice Dzogchen, for instance, and then you look at the blue sky. There is no shape, yeah? You just have blue, yeah? So in one sense, we can say you could see a color without any shape. Why not? But can you see a shape without any color? That's very difficult, yeah? So when you see a shape, you see a color, yeah? And in one sense, when you see a color, usually speaking, in the perfect conditions, you see a shape as well, yeah? Yeah, so they are one substance. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yes, please.
So I'm wondering whether now we're just talking about two different senses, and if it is, then the gong, I can hear a gong and I see the gong. The gong that I hear is sound waves that has substance,
Mm-hmm.
and this gong that I see has substance because it's material.
Yeah. So there are different substances because the gong is a shape, yeah. Mostly it's a visual form, a gong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still it produces sound, yeah. So it is the cause of the sound that it produces, yeah. So they are necessarily different substances, yeah, and they are necessarily not same and not simultaneous as well. If one is the cause and the other is the effect, they
Okay.
cannot be simultaneous, yeah.
And the
Ah,
cup and its selflessness.
the cup and selflessness, yeah, it
Its
follows
selflessness.
and
being
sorry,
its selflessness
sorry, yes.
as being simultaneous and not one substance.
Yeah, so if we say that they are the same in terms of establishment and abiding, so they have to be produced at the same time. Yeah, is selflessness produced?
It's
Ah.
its selflessness is produced at the same time that it is born.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
she corrected that.
yeah, we could say so. We could say so. But if it is produced, it follows that it is impermanent.
Yes.
So it follows that a mere negation is impermanent, can be impermanent. Yeah, a mere negation because
Do we assign selflessness?
Sorry, you want
Do we assign selflessness to a thing?
Yes.
Do we, oh,
Yes. Yes, we can say that.
then selflessness is not produced together with, because we simply assign that it's selflessness. So we cannot say they're produced or cease
Yeah.
together.
Yes,
Or is it?
we can say we cannot say that they are produced together because selflessness is a mere negation. Like we could say another example, like the space in the cup, yeah, exists when the cup exists. It's selflessness as well. It's the fact that that cup is not a dog, that cup is not a chair, that cup is not a computer, and so on. Those facts belong to that cup, yeah, exist with that cup. They are one entity with that cup, yeah, but they are not produced because they are permanent. Yeah. So yeah, a mere negation has no substance that can transform. Like sorry, I have to put some electricity to my computer. I'm coming back.
Sorry, can I missed, I was trying to understand, I missed what Christophe said. Mere negation exists with the phenomena. It has no substance. Is
Yeah,
it therefore permanent or impermanent?
permanent. Yeah,
Mere
permanent.
negation is permanent.
Mere negation. Yeah, yeah. We will dive into that. Yeah, the negations, they are very important. So, yeah, a mere negation. Yeah, you have non-affirming negations and affirming negations. So non-affirming negations or mere negations, that's the same, are necessarily permanent because they have no substance that transform. They are mere absences, like emptiness, selflessness, absence of elephant in my room, and so on and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. So some among those mere negations are permanent in time, like selflessness in general. Selflessness will always exist and is permanent. Yeah. And some mere negations are temporary permanent, yeah, like the space in the cup, the selflessness of that cup, and so on. Yeah. When they exist, they are permanent when they exist. But it doesn't mean that they are produced. Yeah.
Okay.
It means that those superimposed factors are attributed or imputed with that cup. Yeah. They cannot exist separately from that cup, yeah, in one sense. Okay, very good.
So so do we agree then that even temporary permanent is actually permanent?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they are static. That's the main meaning of permanent. Yeah, it has to exist and it's not changing. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it has to endure forever. Yeah?
Okay.
Very good. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so if the selflessness of that cup and that cup are not both impermanent, they cannot be the same in terms of establishment and abiding because Drupdechik or same in terms of establishment and abiding means they have to be produced at the same time, remain at the same time, and cease at the same time. Yeah. And selflessness of that cup is not produced. So we need something that an illustration of A but not B, yeah? Same in terms of establishment and abiding, but not same substance. Oh, okay. Maybe we will try to find an answer for next time. You will have some.
Water inside the cup. That
Yes. Yes.
water inside the cup or air inside a cup and the cup.
Okay. Yes. And the cup. So we could say maybe because the cup existed before the water that we put, maybe, you know, I guess that in the fabric they don't put water in the cup when they produce water, yeah. They put water in the cup after the cup has been produced, yeah. So the cup existed before the water in the cup, no?
Christopher, I think in the last class you gave the example of water bubble. So air in that bubble and the water around it.
Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Yes, maybe the water that is forming the bubble, yeah, and the bubble maybe. Yes, the water which is forming the how do you say um the outside of the bubble, yeah. Yeah, the external side of the bubble, not the internal, because the internal we could say it's a kind of permanent, yeah, like the absence of water in the bubble. Yeah, yeah, this mere absence is permanent. Yeah, maybe we could say there is air in the bubble. Yeah? So maybe we could say, yeah, the air in the bubble and the water which is forming the bubble. Okay, I would accept so. Yeah, because the air inside the bubble has is impermanent and not air in general, but the air inside the bubble, yeah, is produced when the bubble exists, is produced and so on, and the water is forming that bubble at the same time. Yeah? So the air of the bubble and the water of the external side of the bubble, I would accept so. They are same in terms of establishment and abiding. Okay. Are there different substances? Because we are checking for an illustration which is A not B, yeah? Same simultaneous and not one substance. So the air and the bubble. Okay. Yeah, why not?
I would say they're different, not one substance, because the eye consciousness can distinguish the water and the air inside.
Okay, so it follows
And
that
the
the
different
water,
color.
yes, Ingrola. It follows that the water is an object of apprehension of an eye consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it follows that
Except
so the subject water is not an element. An element, yeah, like tactile objects, yeah? They are realized by tactile body consciousness, yeah? Ah, but still we can see water. Oh. Okay, so many debates around that. Yeah, so, sorry.
What about a father and son, a child and a parent?
Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
A child is born, therefore you become a parent.
So it follows that the parents are not the causes of the boy,
Um,
are not the conditions, the cooperative conditions of the boy.
no, I think the individual, yes, but parent and child, so the label parent cannot be existent even though man and woman is there. You could be a woman, but you're not a mother. Because there is a child, there is a mother. If there was no child, you would just be a woman.
Palavila is an expert of the Prasangika Madhyamika Bodhisattva Shantideva. Who says so, yeah? In the 9th chapter, yeah? You cannot have any father without any child, and child without any father, and so on. Yeah. Yeah. But like for instance, yeah, you know, you could ask the boy, okay, who did give you your name? He would say, my parents gave my name. Maybe they choose his name maybe 1 year or 2 years before the birth of that boy. Yeah, so when he say, "Oh, my parents gave me my name," yeah, they were his parents even before he came to that world, no?
That is non-existent.
Okay, yeah. So we could say conventionally, yeah, for the Prasangika, it would be possible to say, I guess, maybe in appearing and empty, yeah, in that book from His Holiness and Venerable Potential Journal. Maybe we can find some clues in that, yeah. Okay, but yes, conventionally we can say so, but yeah, because the imputation can come before, after, or during. Yeah, the imputation is something that is more free in one sense, yeah. Okay. Okay, but still, yes, we could say, like for instance, yeah, you have some central wood. Yeah, the smell of the central wood and the color of the central wood. Are they one substance? No, Shantila. They are not one substance because
They appear distinctly to different sense consciousness.
yes, they appear separately to direct perceiver, yeah, to direct perception, yeah. One appears to the nose consciousness, yeah. The other appears to the eye consciousness, yeah. So that's why there are necessarily different substances, usually speaking, yeah. But if you check in recognizing reality at some point, Geshe Dreyfus would say that in Jepung Loseling, they would not be ready to accept that the smell of the center wood and the color of the center wood are different substances. Yeah, they would be reluctant to say so. But in Seraje and in other colleges, yeah, in the big monastic universities, they would accept that smell of the center wood and the color of the center wood are different substances, yeah, according to that definition, at least. Yeah. Still, they are the same in terms of establishment and abiding. They are simultaneous because they are produced when the center wood is produced. Yeah. And they are enduring when the center wood is enduring. And they are ceasing when the center wood is ceasing. Anyway, do you agree with that?
So
He-
then why didn't it work for sound and the gong? Because
Yes.
scent has to be carried by air,
Yes.
sound has to be carried by air.
Yes.
So they're two different, just air is carrying.
Yeah.
Why is that not the cause? Like, why is cause and effect coming for sound and vision, but not for sense and vision?
Yeah, because because in the case of sound, the sound is produced by the gong, yeah?
Yeah.
And we could say that the smell as well is produced by the center wood, yeah? Or maybe the gong, maybe can smell, yeah? As well, I don't know. But still, yeah. If the gong is the cause of the sound of the gong, then they cannot be same simultaneous, yeah? Because one has to arise before the other, yeah, anyway. But
So does the sandalwood have to arise before the smell of the sandalwood?
yeah, in that case, could you have sandalwood without any smell?
Maybe a sandalwood which has lost its smell.
Hmm.
Maybe possible. I'm not sure.
Yes, it could be like it could have with time, a weaker smell in one sense. But I guess that for someone who has a good nose, some people who work in the, like in the luxuries, like for perfumes and so on, they have a very, very good nose. And I guess they could smell it even if I was not able to smell it, maybe. Yeah. So that's why we have to add something, yeah, in the perfect conditions, yeah, in the proper conditions, yeah. Yeah, otherwise, of course, yeah, if someone is weaker in one sense power, that would be difficult to say, oh, yeah, and he sees or he smells or he tastes and so on. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So,
according to your definition, I mean, you said one, if I remember correctly, one substance, it's one entity and impermanent.
yeah.
So then this would hold for the smell and the color of the cedarn wood.
So in the
It's one
case of,
entity, and
ah,
and it's
there are one
impermanent.
entity. There are one entity because,
They're not one entity.
It follows that they are one entity because they are
Because
not
they
one
would,
entity.
if they were to appear to a direct, they're one entity. If they were to appear
Ah,
to a direct conceiver, they could not be separated.
yes. But still, they cannot appear non-separately, yeah, because smell appears to the nose consciousness and the color appears to the eye consciousness. So they necessarily appear to different direct perceptions. Yeah,
And then they were not one entity.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, because they necessarily appear separately. Yeah, exactly. Wow. But the smell of the sandalwood and the color of the sandalwood, yes, and according to many textbooks, are different substances according to that definition, yeah, because they appear to different spheres, sense spheres, we could say. But still, they are produced at the same time as the sandalwood. They endure at the same time as and they cease at the same time as the sandalwood. When the sandalwood is ceasing its odor as well, yeah, slowly, slowly, you know, disintegrating, and the smell is weakening slowly, slowly, and even the color as well. Yeah, the color with the light and so on becomes weaker and weaker and so on. Why not? Yeah. Okay. We can find the other instances like this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, very good. And among existence, yeah, what would be the fourth P? Yeah, something which is neither same in terms of establishment and abiding, nor one substance. Who has some idea? Who wants to share? Yeah, they are not one substance and they are not simultaneous.
Cup and table.
Yes, cup and table, etc. Yeah. The subject, the two cup and table, they are not one substance because?
They appear differently to direct perception,
Yes, if they appear separately to the direct perception, they are necessarily not one substance.
except
Yes, they are necessarily different substances. Yeah, very good. And they are not one simultaneous substance. They are not same in terms of establishment and abiding.
except
And they are not because?
because they were manufactured at different times.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Because when one is destroyed, the other one not necessarily, and so on. Yeah, they are not produced at the same time and so on. Very good. And okay. Wow, fantastic. So the two chair and table, they are neither same, or we could say neither simultaneous nor one substance. Yeah, very good. We could say space in the east and space in the west, for instance, as well, no? It would work. Yeah. Yeah, or we could say also existent and table. Yeah, yeah. No, we could not say Shantila, yes, I want some fight.
Existence is not produced. You can't say it's simultaneous or not, of course.
Exactly. So it
And
can
not only that, it's not that doesn't have substance.
exactly Shantila, yeah. So that's why it's the fourth P, yeah, not A and not B, yeah. It is not same in terms of establishment and abiding. Yeah, and it is not one substance, yeah? Because existent is permanent anyway, so it cannot be produced at the same time, and and it cannot be one substance, yeah, because it's permanent. Yeah, so table and existent, the subject, the two, table and existent, they are not simultaneous and they are not one substance, they are just one entity. Yeah.
But also any cause and its effect could be, right? As
Yes, yes,
like the
Ignora.
drought and the tree.
Yeah, very good example as well. Sprout and tree, yeah? Or seed and sprout, or smoke and fire, yeah? Yeah, very good example, yeah? Because they are one exists before the other, so they cannot be simultaneous and they cannot be one substance. They have to appear separately, yeah? Wow, very good example as well, yeah? Very good. Fantastic. Wow, you all did well, like usual. Sorry to have a longer session today, but yeah, this point is quite interesting because it regards, it's concerning the ontology and also epistemology, yeah, how things appear, how they are realized or not, and so on. So we'll keep on with that next time. Next time we will try to, if you check in the chart that you have, uh, at the very, how do you say, and at the bottom of the chart, there is an explanation about, just a very short, just the definition of some substantial type, yeah, Dzerichik in Tibetan, yeah. That it's very, very different. So next time we will go into that, and we will compare that with one substance and so on. And then we will have finished the chapter on cause and effect. Then later on, we will have some recap and debate, more debate than today, I guess, I hope. And
I have a quick question.
yeah, please.
I have a question, Christophe. In the PDF you shared, the collected topics,
Yeah,
that conventional truth is categorized under the permanent phenomena, and ultimate truth is categorized under functioning thing.
yes,
Okay, and the definition there, it is given: ultimate truth is the phenomena which is ultimately able to perform a function.
yeah.
Now we say that ultimate truth does not exist ultimately. So,
Ah,
so how can it function if it is not existent?
yeah, yeah. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. If you still have 1 hour, no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Yes, because for the Sotrantika, usually when we have an approach of Aryanagajuna and Acharya Chandrakirti and so on, when we study after that approach, we study the Sotrantika, the debates and so on, it's quite shocking, yeah, to see that if it is impermanent, it has to be an ultimate truth, and if it is permanent, it's a conventional truth. Because in that sense, for the Sotrantika, it's not really the same as in the Madhyamaka, yeah? Or in the Chittamatra, for instance, or the Mahayana views. Yeah, it's very different. They would say because that cup is the appearing object to an ultimate mind, a non-mistaken mind. A direct perception is necessarily not mistaken. Yeah, so it is in accordance with reality. Yeah, so it is in tune with reality. Yeah, so that's why it's an ultimate mind. And because that cup is an appearing object to that ultimate mind, it's an ultimate truth. Yeah. So it's ultimately able to perform function. For the Sotrantika, if it is impermanent, it's inherently impermanent. Yeah. If it depends on causes and conditions, it inherently depends on causes and conditions. So that's very, very shocking when we have some ideas about the Madhyamaka and so on. But for them, it's the real, how do you say? They would say they are really existent. They are ultimately existent, but also permanent phenomena. They have to be ultimately existent anyway. Because for the Sotrantika, for the non-Prasangika, if we don't find something ultimately, it means, except for the Madhyamika, sorry, if we don't find something ultimately, it means it doesn't exist. Yeah. But for the that's why for the non-Madhyamika, if it exists, it has to be found ultimately. Yeah, you have to find something there, yeah, which is the very thing itself. Yeah. So that's why for the Sotrantika, if it is impermanent, if it depends on causes and conditions, it implies inherent existence. For the Prasangika, Madhyamika, it refutes inherent existence. Yeah. Like in the maybe I already gave that quote here from the Anavatapta Naga Raja Paripricha Sutra, yeah, when it says Kanshi Kyenle Kieba Demake Dela Kiewe Ranshin Yomayin. When they say whatever is produced is not produced, because here there is no own production or self-production, yeah, or inherent production, yeah. Yeah, when it is produced, it is not really produced. Yeah, the Prasangika would say so, but the Sotrantika would say if it is produced, it has to be really produced. Otherwise, it means it's not produced at all. Yeah, so we have some complications between one school and the other sometimes. Yeah, that can arise. Yeah, but thank you very much for the questions. Yeah, very, very deep. Yeah. Okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
I have a side question which came up in our class in our practice. We were looking for a definition of non-material form because there was a relation, like comparison between impermanent phenomena and non-material form,
Yeah.
and we didn't know what non-material
Okay.
form is.
So have you found that term in the books, or just it was just like a
No,
because
it was in the book. You had the book and you sent a page from that book, the comparison.
It's
okay,
from the
so it's
Daniel
from
Perdue book.
From Daniel
okay,
Perdue.
because we have non-revelatory forms. Yeah, nambarije maimbe zup. Yeah, a non-revelatory form or non-informative form. Yeah, so those are very specific, and non-material form would mean non-existent. It would mean like
Mm.
yes,
Not formless, nothing, just like a thought
because
consciousness.
ah, okay, because that kind of form, we would say it's a non-revelatory form. Yeah, it's because if you check maybe also in Knowing, Naming, and Negation from Ankla, there is a short commentary from Lati Rinpoche at some point about three types of form. You have okay, obstructive and revelatory forms like a cup. It's obstructive, and when you see that, you see that. So it's revelatory. You can see it directly in one sense. Then you have obstructive forms which are not revelatory. No, sorry. You have forms which are not revelatory, but they are obstructive, like the eye powers, sense powers, and so on. It's clear form, so it's very subtle form. So you cannot see that, but it is obstructive. It is still, it offers some obstruction to contact. Yeah. Okay. And a third one, which is none of them, a form which is not demonstrable or informative, and which is not obstructive. Yeah. So those are very specific in the Vaibhashika and maybe also the Prasangika systems. They would accept that it is form, yeah, in some sense, yeah. Like the vows. A vow is a kind of non-revelatory form. It's a kind of subtle form which you cannot see directly. Yeah? So in one sense, they would say so.
I'm
But
sorry, what did you say? Vow?
yeah, the vows. Yeah, a vow when you you have a vow and so on.
The
It
vows of a monk?
Yeah, for instance, yeah, or lay people and so on, yeah, or bodhisattva vows and so on. Yeah. So those vows are considered as non-revelatory forms, but in the uh, commentary of Acharya Vasubandhu in his Abhidharmakosha, yeah, Abhidharmakosha Bhashyam, he would say tendo yomela topa mebe zu kaiba deni chöki kechela doba imbe chiro. He would say that forms that are not demonstrable and they are not obstructive are classified as phenomenon source. Phenomenon source means object for the mental consciousness.
Mm.
Yeah. So in the Abhidharmakosha, in the root text, it's Vaibhashika, so they would accept that it is form. But in his self-commentary, the Bhashyam, he would say it is classified as a phenomenon source, as an object of a mental consciousness. Yeah, like
Mm.
when we dream about blue sky and so on, is it form? When we think about the blue sky, is it form? Is it blue? Difficult question.
Mm.
So he would categorize this non-revelatory form as phenomenon. So
Yeah, phenomenon source. Yeah, the objects apprehended by the mental consciousness. The objects of apprehension of a mental consciousness. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So when we have the, like for instance, in some descriptions of impermanent phenomena, or even sorry, in some descriptions of all phenomena, yeah, you have the 18th constituents, yeah, the 18th dhatu, yeah, You have external sources, internal sources, and consciousnesses. So you have 18th elements, yeah? So for the mental consciousness, yeah, the objects of the mental consciousness belong to the category of phenomenon source, yeah? Like in the Heart Sutra, yeah, at some point it's indicated somewhere, yeah? Okay. Sorry.
You know
Too
what?
much talking from me, yeah, sorry.
I have more questions.
Yeah.
So if things only existent if there is a cognition, a valid cognition, can there be things that exist without valid cognition?
Ah, because if we say that the definition of existent is observed by valid cognition, mm, could you have any phenomenon which is not observed by valid cognition?
I mean, isn't if there was no if everybody is in deep sleep, their phenomena still exists, the sun and the moon and earth.
I think so. I hope so.
Yes. So there is no valid cognition to observe it. So uh, I mean, I
Ah,
can negate an object. I
yeah.
can negate an object with thought consciousness, but if thought consciousness is not there,
Mhm.
so in like sleep or deep sleep or
Yeah.
unconscious.
So when we say observed by valid cognition, does it follow that the cup exists only when it is observed in time, in real time, on real time by valid cognition? When we put it in the box or in the kitchen and we forget it, does it still exist or not?
It exists.
Yes, exactly, because in general it is observed by valid cognition. It doesn't mean that we could say yes, there are always valid cognitions observing that cup, yeah, omniscient minds.
Yes.
We could say so, but even even if we imagine a sleeping Buddha, which is not a non-existent, which is the horn of the rabbit, a sleeping Buddha, you know, imagine that a Buddha could not think about that cup would still be observed by another valid cognition anyway.
That
Yeah.
means we have to always say, like, so we cannot prove emptiness then because we have to always, there has to be a valid cognition at all times. We cannot say emptiness of self. Like, because now you have a valid cognition that's always there for.
Yeah, in one sense, yeah. Valid cognition is always there.
Oh,
But
so
yeah,
there's no selflessness of valid cognition.
but how yeah, it follows that if something endures, it is not selfless. Something can endure and be selfless, yeah. Like the continuum of mind and so on. Yeah. Yeah. So even if valid cognition, the the valid cognition of any omniscient mind endures forever, yeah.
Hmm.
But valid cognition itself, yeah, of course, like in general, but you have valid cognition of a carpet, valid cognition of I don't know,
Yeah.
of a disciple, and so on, of the Buddha, and so on. So those valid cognitions are necessarily impermanent. They are changing moment by moment, but they can endure. Yeah, some valid cognitions of the Buddha are enduring forever, like the valid cognition observing existence, or observing a compounded space, observing emptiness in general, and so on. Yeah.
Can I relate this back because my mind is so simple? Can I relate this back to valid cognition as a generality and then valid cognition of specific object
Mhm.
is then specific generality? Is that
Mhm.
what I'm
Yeah.
coming back to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very useful to get that point, yeah, about generalities and instances. Yeah. Yeah, we will come to that quickly, I guess. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, very useful. So you have many valid cognitions, and some yeah, they are all instances of the generality valid cognition. Yeah, which is impermanent. Yeah, valid cognition is impermanent. It's a mind. Yeah, it's a knower. It's a cognition. Yeah. Okay, and all those valid cognitions are necessarily instances. Yeah, valid cognitions, realizing blue, valid cognition of Arya Nagarjuna realizing emptiness, and so on and so on. Yeah, yeah.
If
And
I may, in eliminating the intent, Lama Tsongkhapa explains that saying observable is different from saying it's subjective, because very gross is South Tantrika view. He explains this confusion.
What pages, Shantila? I'll go back and read it.
I don't know, I'll have to check, but we've covered it in another class.
Fantastic, yeah.
Because if something exists because it's observable, you're just checking it. It's not the same as saying that it's dependent on the mind seeing it.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, because otherwise, yeah, we could say, okay, like for instance, if we forget our cup, then it doesn't exist anymore. It still exists when we perceive it or when we think about it and so on, when we make an inference about that cup and so on. Yeah, so that would be difficult to accept. So yeah, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, at some point, Lama Tsongkhapa would say so. Yeah, like for instance, also His Holiness would say so in the appearing and empty. Yeah? Like when you open the, you know, in your kitchen, you open the box and so on, you want to get your cup for the coffee in the morning. Yeah, sometimes we are not really well, very lucid and so on to think, oh, that's my cup. And so, yeah, even if we don't think about the cup is still there. Yeah, anyway, yeah? It is the cause of our eye consciousness, yeah, apprehending that cup, yeah. So it has to exist before our eye consciousness, yeah. So in one sense, it has to, yeah, it has the cup, which is the cause of our eye consciousness, has to exist before. Yeah? But the thought consciousness can think about the cup, and then we get the cup and so on. Still, even if we don't think about the cup, it has to be a cup. Conventionally speaking, in general, it is observed by valid cognition, whichever it is. Yeah. Very good. Fantastic. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, very interesting. Very, I'm very inspired by your interactions because the class is getting more, you know, intuitive and, you know, when we all share. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, thank you so much for the sake of all the beings, as usual. Yeah. Yeah, and see you next time. And I will have some slides also. And we'll try to debate again about that. And same substantial types was same substance, same in terms of establishment abiding. Oh, yeah. Headache.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. And for the sake of all the beings, for the long life and good health for the sunniness and all our good masters. And for the sake of all the beings. Yeah, thank you. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Chavila.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.